Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast. It is the Absolute Lower League show where we cover, of course, the EFL Championship, League One, League Two, and, of course, the National League. And to the observant amongst you, you may have realised I'm not Charlotte. Charlotte is unfortunately not feeling very well today. She's very poorly, so we do send all of our care and love to Charlotte. Get well soon, rest up. I've given you the purple background in hope that you're here with us to guide me through. So I'm a poor relation to Charlotte, but I'll do what I can. But I've got the best team with me to support me. I'm like a backup goalkeeper with a phenomenal back three of defence, so it won't be a problem conceding and keeping everything out tonight. It will be superb. And I'm also very excited. We were speaking about this is my first time on a podcast with Nick, so I'm very excited. Nick, how are you doing? How are things with you?
Yeah, doing really well, Sam. So, it's good to be on with you. Looking forward to tonight. Like you say, plenty to talk about, not just the actual matches as well. Lots going on in the EFL.
There is indeed. Double Gameweek, sackings, everything's going on.
Yeah,
It's
brilliant.
a very busy one indeed. And of course, we have the Queen of the County, Clare. Clare is here with us. How are you doing, Clare?
Yeah, I'm good. Nothing terrible has happened this week to me personally, so can't complain. How are you?
Yes, I'm not doing too bad at all. Not too bad at all. So I've caught up as much as I can on tonight. So we're very excited to get through everything for sure. And of course, we have not just Nick, not just Clare. We have the man himself. Ant is with us. How are you doing, my man?
I'm a lot better than what I was on Tuesday night when it was going to be coming that I was going to be hosting tonight. I was absolutely bricking it. So, Sam, it is great to see you, buddy.
You're very welcome. No problem at all. And so we are going to get into the football very quickly. We'll go to the chat because it's lovely to see everybody. Cap Aled, welcome to you in the chat as well. Wishing Char the best, that she gets well soon. Fantastic. Ryan, lovely to see you as well in the chat. And we have Simon too. So don't forget, if you are watching us on Twitter or Facebook, you can join us on YouTube and Twitch if you want to get involved in the chat. Do tell us your thoughts. It is makes the whole thing so much more fun for us as well when you're involved with us. Do let us know. But before we kind of kick off, we just wanted to sort of touch on, obviously, there was a very sad event at Leyton Orient the other night, where sadly Derek Reynolds, fan of Leyton Orient, lost his life at the Leyton Orient game. Very sad. No one should not come back from the football in the evening. So I think just as a podcast, we wanted to send out our sympathies to the family, friends, anybody involved with Leyton Orient, and say with you with what is a very sad, tragic situation at Leyton Orient. We have a lot of football to get to. There's a lot of football. As we mentioned before, it is a double game week. So I'm going to get out with the slides. Charlotte has kindly managed to put the slides together for us, so at least we can run through. And there is a result straight away, right at the top, which I know that somebody on this panel is going to be very interested to talk about. So should we go to Mr. Ant to talk about Sunderland?
Yeah, I was there. Drove down to Hillsborough. First time I've ever been to Hillsborough in my life, and probably I wouldn't like to go back again, to be honest. It's such a strange place. I sorted out, like, obviously, because I was driving, I sorted out a car parking space, which turned out to be somebody's drive. So, bearing in mind, though, she gets a tenner a game for that. So she gets 200 and odd quid for a season for just loaning out her driveway, which I thought was quite funny. The game itself, we were getting our tickets at the ticket office, which was shut. So they took us around to this ticket collection point, which turned out that they didn't know what was going on. Sent us back to the ticket office, which was again shut. And then Sunderland's team bus actually parked up where we were. This guy goes running off the team bus with an envelope in his hand. So we ran all the way around to where said ticket collection point was. Turned out all the tickets were there. So that was mad. This is the championship football team, by the way. In Sheffield. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, the match itself, brilliant. We were fantastic. First half, absolutely fantastic. Killed the game off within 10 minutes. Obviously, Dan Ballard scoring from a corner. Jack Clark with a wonderful individual goal. And then I think we got a penalty, didn't we? Jack Clark again with a penalty. But Sheff Wed, obviously, the fans were really, against, their side, the owner. everything like that. I do want to say that a couple of Sheffield Wednesday fans who put the picture of Bradley Lowry up really shouldn't go watch football ever again, because obviously
terrible.
And it's good to see that the police acted so quickly, and obviously, I think he's getting sentenced next week, so hopefully the judge, comes down really hard, because it's just ridiculous. And what the rest of the Sheffield Wednesday fans have done after that, raising all that money for the Bradley Lowry Foundation, is brilliant. So fair play to them. I know it was just the odd two, but fair play to all the rest of the Sheffield Wed fans. And I really hope that they get out. I don't think they'll get out of this relegation zone, because they are poor. They're a bad side, probably the worst side we've played all season, and I just hope they can find a way of getting rid of that owner. We go on so many times. We had a really big conversation, didn't we, about football owners last week. Sheff Wed are in a really bad space for this owner. He put a statement out like on the day of the game, saying that he challenges any fan to do what he's done. They've got no right to say that they could do a better job, this, that, and the other. And then he's pulling all the money out. It's like, yeah, you just don't know what you're doing. But hopefully, like I say, Sam, hopefully they can get, out of where they are. I don't think they will, but I'm focusing on us. We were fantastic. We never got out of second gear. We just won the game within 10 minutes, and just the second half we just took the mick. We just let the gas off. We just decided to keep things as they are, and just played some really nice football. A little bit disappointed we couldn't score another couple of goals. Really gone for it, but yeah, we'll take it. Another 3 points, another clean sheet away from home, another 3 goals away from home, which we seem to be dealing in at the moment. So everything's looking rosy for the red and whites at the moment.
Yeah, very positive. Exactly what you want as well, isn't it? Say with a double game week coming up on the Tuesday, to sort of take the foot off the gas, lower down the gears, and just see the game through. And of course, we'll bring up, shall we now as well, the first of the manager sackings that have come up through this week. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday have said that the board is still there, but the manager is not. Xisco Munoz has been removed. Any thoughts who's going in there? I've heard Nathan Jones, Dean Smith mentioned quite high up the odds at the moment.
Good luck to whoever gets it, to be honest.
Exactly. I agree. They give a manager 5 minutes. I think all of us probably thought Sheffield Wednesday would struggle this season. So whoever gets it, good luck to him, because it's got to be difficult with them owners. Definitely.
I don't think Nathan Jones will go there. It's a job that literally everyone's going to look at. If any manager worth his salt looks at that job, just direct them to the statement that they want to put out on the day of our game, and then just walk away, just run away as fast as you can, because they'll probably get some like foreign man that no one's ever heard of, and they'll last until Christmas, and then I'll have to start again. But I think they'll go down. I've got to be honest. I think they'll go down. It's about rebuilding in League One, I think, for the minute. It's a shame because, like I said, bar those 2 idiots, they're a great fan base. They're a great club. But yeah, just not somewhere I would like to go many times more, because obviously getting out as well of the ground was horrendous. So it took about 2.5 hours just to get out of the car, out of the street where Hillsborough is. It took about 2.5 hours. I never go up to 2:30 in the morning. I was never at work the next day, luckily enough. I wasn't. But yeah, it was a good night. I love going watch Sunderland away, especially when we win. And yeah, at the minute we're doing really well. So, but good luck to whoever gets that job, and I hope, like I say, I hope Sheffield sort themselves out, really. Get rid of
there's plenty of the managers that go on the roundabout, though, isn't there, looking for work. So somebody will take it on, and as long as they get the contract written up in their favour, somebody will take it. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, for sure. And so difficult times around for Sheffield Wednesday at the minute. Just getting the chat, we've got Simon hopes those 2 Neanderthals get banned from every ground in the country for life. Yeah, absolutely shocking, abhorrent behaviour that is just beyond human, to be honest. And Lisa as well sharing those sentiments too. So yeah, not good for Sheffield Wednesday. Not looking positive at all. But for a team, I think we spoke couple of weeks that they were struggling with their new manager, Southampton and Russell Martin. They then went and beat Leeds 3-1. I knew a few Saints fans sort of down here where I'm from is in Southampton, so they were quite worried about this one on recent form and thought they could be struggling. But the Armstrong duo is the 2 that sort of keeping them afloat at the minute. Saints Leeds, is that a surprise to you guys?
Yeah, big surprise, to be fair.
I echo what you said about the Armstrong lads. Like they're really keeping them in. That first goal was a lovely touch on it, beautiful finish. But they both look. I mean, obviously, we all know about the strike. I can't remember which ones. Stewart's the midfielder, isn't he? Adams the striker. Yeah. Stuart Armstrong was when we beat them 5-0. He got subbed off on half time actually, but he looked really, really good. So I don't know if he picked up an injury or something. And Adam Armstrong's a proper good Championship striker. The only bother about him is Newcastle fans. That's better. But that first goal was a lovely finish. To be fair, not many strikers can do that. To be fair, and he took it really well.
Yeah, did a really good win there for Southampton. And so, as you said, Adam Armstrong at that level was very good for Blackburn. Premier League, I think, was a little bit too much for where he was at that stage, and we're starting to see him come through now for Saints as well. But so for Leeds, a loss, and we will get to obviously we've got a double game week, so it's a bit difficult to talk about some of the sides that have lost and then they go on to win a few days later, but a bit of a drop for them. They're sort of a win-loss kind of flip at the moment, aren't they? I mean, do you think they'll find their form and come through a bit more consistent through the season?
I still think they'll be in the playoffs. I don't know about second place though. They're just too leaky at the back for me at the moment. There's too many other teams who are on form, like Ipswich, ourselves, who seem to have it right at both ends of the pitch at the moment, and Leeds seem to be struggling at one end. To be fair.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how they work themselves out. And so a question to the panel's coming already. Neil Warnock's available. With his United connections, do you reckon he'd go to Wednesday?
Nah.
he would do it just for the crack, though, wouldn't he?
He would, wouldn't it? Just to sit there as they go down, and then
yeah,
he'd have a lovely time doing so.
Well, he might drop down to Bradford. You never know.
It's more likely.
Yeah,
yeah, true.
Probably fair. More goals as well in further games. The Championship, Bristol City 2, Stoke 3. Bristol City threw away a 2-goal lead there as well. I think not a great result for them at home to Stoke, or another one that have been sort of struggling sort of early doors as well, haven't they? Bristol City are mid-table, do we think, for them?
Yeah.
Stoke are a strange side, aren't they? You never know what they're going to push out. They seem to lose really bad games and then go. Like I wouldn't have expected them to win at Bristol City because they're usually pretty good at home. So yeah, that Stoke a really strange side at the moment.
Yeah, strange. Right. Yeah, definitely. We've got Cardiff winning as well. They've a winning streak for Cardiff. Cardiff have been on a bit of a run that has risen them up the table. So again, another one we'll come to where it ended on Tuesday. But in terms of the weekend, without Aaron Ramsey's out for them as well, I think now, isn't he, for a little bit? He's got a muscle injury, so he might be out for a while. 2-0 win over Rotherham. Yeah, decent run for Cardiff, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is considering like a lot of people had them down for relegation this year, and me included, to be fair, and they seem to have surprised a lot of people, and they're finding ways to win, which is fair enough on them. As you said, it didn't end well on Tuesday, but you're not going to. That's a bother with the double game weeks. You don't find many teams who do win them both. That's where the good teams and the bad teams from that league are kind of ironed out, isn't it? Where if you can win 3 in a week, you're laughing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at the ones that have done it this week. So I think Coventry had a double win. Leicester, Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough will come to in a different way. Southampton got one, of course. Sunderland got a double win as well. So that Swansea on their run as well. West Brom have been on a great run. So they are the teams you'd expect to be kind of fighting up there.
Yeah. And Cardiff prior to that had won 4 on the trot. So that was probably a bit of a shock for them.
Yeah, it would have been a bit of a shock at Borough, for sure. Then we've got a couple of draws. Ipswich being held at Huddersfield. So Ipswich have been on a good run, doing fantastic stuff themselves. So probably Huddersfield will be delighted with that point, I would imagine. And of course, we've got Hull versus Plymouth as well. The Oggy Pasty. I know Claire wouldn't let me get away with that, saying the Oggy Pasty boys. Went to Hull. I don't know what pasties they're on Hull. If you're a Hull fan in the chat, let us know what your pasties like. Key important chat, that's for sure. And then Swansea with a 3-0 victory at Millwall. Big win for them. Very good, strong. Swansea starting to put some things together.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Millwall are hot and cold a bit really as well this season, aren't they?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Robert's under a bit of pressure there. considering where they were so close to making the playoffs last season. Just a game away really, and they haven't really started it off very well. So I think he's one of them managers you need to watch out for. I think, and because the manager merry-go-round started now, hasn't it? We're 10 games in, and this is where I think kind of a lot of chairmen and owners take stock of where we are. And I'll be worried if I was Millwall fan we're out. I know they had a good result midweek, but still under a lot of pressure, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely that manager time of the season, isn't it? And we've seen 3 go in the last couple of days, so I expect we'll see a few more by the time we get to next week's podcast. I wouldn't be surprised. Norwich 2, Birmingham 0. Birmingham were on a terrible run, so really struggling they were. Norwich, of course, got battered not too long ago at Plymouth as well. They've been a bit up and down and struggling. So, Birmingham... Again, another one who then will go and win again on the Tuesday, of course. So, but it looked pretty rough for them at that point. 7 in a row without a win.
Was that what it was? Was it?
Mm.
Well,
I know they started well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Well. Yeah, they did have a good start and sort of tailed away a bit there. 1-4-1 against Huddersfield in midweek. So, a result that puts them mid-table. So that strong start, really, to still be mid-table after not winning in 7. So it probably shows you how good that start was, to be fair.
Definitely.
And then West Brom are probably one of the informed teams at the minute, and obviously Preston. So I know you guys have said on the podcast last few weeks saying how long are Preston going to kind of remain and up there, and the wheels came off in a bit of a big way. They had a bad double game week, and West Brom absolutely pelted them with a 4-0 victory.
Just a little bit. I didn't expect them to get hammered that badly.
No, I didn't either. I didn't. I think they are falling away a little bit now, though. It happens, they got off to such a good start. They're a good side, Preston, but it's squad depth for me. I don't think they've got a brilliant squad. They've got a good side, but it's not for me. It's not. I don't see them in the playoffs. I think there's 6 better teams in them so far, for what I've seen. Even though they beat us second game of the season, so fair play to them, but. West Brom have just picked up at the right time. Got a great manager as well, and West Brom got so many good players as well. They'll be fine. They're pushing for the playoffs now, aren't they? I think they had a good double game week, as you said, Sam.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, good. West Brom been on a bit of a run. I think themselves a bit of an unbeaten run as well. I think a few draws prior to this, but starting to kind of pick things up and move forward.
Yeah, I don't know at Preston. I think we spoke earlier in the season that we thought they would be there or thereabouts, and. Those last 2 defeats, their only 2 defeats so far this season. So they've had a bit of a blip. And like you say, to get beat 4-0 at home is a real shocker. So obviously Saturday's going to be an important game for them if they can get back on track. I think they'll be in and around the playoffs. To me, I think they are quite a decent side. As I say, they've only lost 2. So they're not that far out of it at the moment, and I know it's only 10 games in.
Yeah, they've got Ipswich on Saturday. That's massive game. That.
Oh, is it? Oh, right, yeah,
definitely Ipswich. Huge game.
Yeah, really interesting. At Ipswich as well, so a real toughie for Preston coming up this weekend. See how that one goes. And we've got Simon very happy. Simon play up Sky Blues with the Coventry victory over QPR. A double, of course, as well for Ellis Sims. Coventry. Well, they, again, themselves a double game week with double success. So 3-1 at QPR, who again can be a bit of a funny team at times, can't they?
Yeah, but everyone's beating QPR at the moment, and they're terrible.
Yeah, they seem to be in a little bit of a rough patch.
We're worried. We've got their, I think, third or fourth choice keeper on loan, who's playing out of his skin. In the way they're going, they might be wanting him back.
Your best players are loan players.
They are, yeah. Yeah, come January, I'll be crying.
Yeah. The bother with QPR as a manager, I've said it countless times now, he's not the right man.
Yeah, Simon agrees with you. So, yeah, the decent players are being wasted playing under Ainsworth.
Yeah, he's got one way of playing football, and it's long ball and try and bully the teams off the pitch. And the bother is,
to be fair, if you want to play like that, you have to be consistently good at playing like that, because fans care about the 3 points. But if they're watching rubbish football and those wins aren't happening, it goes sour very quickly.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, 100%. Certainly does. Sean is pulling the puns in the chat. QPR, also known as quite poor results. Yeah, very, very well done, Shawnee. Well done.
Someone I know once called him QP and like, yeah, I can't stop calling him QP
QPR. My uncle was a QPR fan, and I always remember being a kid. We always have to write the thank you letters after Christmas, and every thank you letter after Christmas and my birthday, there'd be a QPR dig in there somewhere. It was a standard approach, and I think one year I didn't do it, and he was most disappointed. So he said, "No, keep it up, keep it up.
Yeah, keep the banter.
Keep the banter. Got to be done." Watford 2, Middlesbrough 3. Middlesbrough have started to click a little bit. 3 wins on the trot they put together. As we said, the Carrick was under real pressure. That's a great result for them.
Great result. And I've noticed recently, and I've been a bit of a stuck record the last couple of weeks saying it, that Middlesbrough are actually playing all right. They're just not getting the results. Mm-hmm. So maybe this is the start of them actually getting the results they deserve.
Yeah, another big game on Saturday. They're playing us.
Where's that, Ant? Is it your place?
Yeah, it's at Stevenage, 12:30 kick-off on Sky. So we actually get a 1 day's. Is that a spider, Claire, or a fly?
Freaking moth this time.
So we actually get a day's less rest, obviously, because we played last night, and then it's Saturday morning, 12:30 kick-off, whatever it is. So yeah, big game, big derby game. So hopefully we derail their good form. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Should be a good game with them coming into a bit of form as well. Because I think a couple of weeks ago you'd have been thinking that this looks not too bad, but Middlesbrough starting to put some things together. Of course, Watford are not doing particularly well. They're just struggling just outside the relegation zone at the minute. I'd say with Watford, it's a manager change coming. They've just given him an extension to his contract, haven't they, Ballerine Ismail, apparently. Not that means anything at Watford, to be honest.
Yeah, so I read somebody said it's an extra week.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So it's struggle for Watford, and then we come to the Sunday game before we get to the second round of the double game week, and say, I know Leicester's in red. To be fair, Charlotte, the fact that Charlotte's even done the slides today is amazing, considering how unwell she is. So we'll let that one slide for sure. Leicester 4, Blackburn 1. Leicester are now starting to punt a few teams, aren't they? And really coming into it. So I don't think that's a surprise to anybody, I suppose. Blackburn haven't really been too strong. 4 losses in a row as well. So very good from Leicester.
As we've said a few times, finish above Leicester and you win in the league.
Yeah, they've only let in 6 goals as well in 10 games.
Really?
So if you've got a solid defence, that's half your battle, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
I think Vardy's enjoying himself by the looks of it as well, winding up fans.
They've still got like Iniacho, who was playing Champions League football like 5 years ago, and it's like it's just the team's just too good for this league, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bonkers, isn't it? I'll say Iniacho years ago, wasn't he? He was the understudy to Aguero at Man City in that title-winning team. It's mad.
You know what's even madder? I mean, it's not even madder. It pales into insignificance. But quite a lot of years ago, Jamie Vardy was up against George Donnelly in a poll to join Stockport County, and our fans chose George Donnelly instead of Jamie Vardy. So that's who the club went for. Things might have turned out differently for him if he'd come to our house, though. Our house.
Come to our house. Yeah, he's not had a bad career, has he? From where he came from, Jamie Vardy. To be fair,
fair play to him.
He's done very well.
He's done all right. He's done all right. So moving on to, of course, Double Game Week. A lot of home wins in the middle of the week. So we said Birmingham, one of those struggled at the weekend, but then a big 4-1 win over Huddersfield to end that run in 7. And Huddersfield absolutely spanked there. And then Ipswich picked up another 3-0 victory, having drawn at the weekend to put them back into I think, were they second, are they, Ipswich now?
Yeah.
Doing really well.
And I think they had Ed Sheeran serenaded them as well in the dressing room, I heard. So
my God.
Just what you need after a win.
Meant to be happy about it, aren't they?
I was going to say, what song did he sing to them?
Well, I think they more serenaded him by the sounds of it. He sponsors them, doesn't he? I think Ed Sheeran sponsors them with his albums on the centre. But very good for them. As we touched on, Middlesbrough win, and also a good win over Cardiff. So they ended Cardiff's little run that they put together as well. So sort of little bit of form and all the rest of it. I mean, noise is coming out of Middlesbrough. Are they a lot more content now, Ant, do you think? Even if, say, it doesn't go their way at the weekend, that they're more... Carrick's bought himself some time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Carrick was ever for the chop. The bother is with Borough, they lost a lot of goals last year, obviously with Akpom going, and Cameron Archer went to Sheff United. They also had, I think it was Giles, wasn't it, from some Premier League team, and they lost a lot of goals, but they've got Jed Spence and Sam Greenwood, who are two very, very good players. Sam Greenwood's actually a Sunderland youth product, and we're a little bit worried that he's going to come back and haunt us on Saturday. But they're just like I said, they're finding themselves. I think they've had a little bit of a hangover not getting into the playoff final. Obviously losing all them players, losing all them goals. But now Carrick seem to have just got a little bit of a song out with them at the minute. Hopefully we can stop that on Saturday. But it's going to be a hell of a game. The have hit form at completely the wrong time as far as we're concerned. But I've got to be honest, I'd rather play teams in form than teams, because we normally come unstuck against teams who are struggling. Teams in form we tend to beat. So I'm not worried at all. It'll be a great game.
All form goes out the window when it's a big derby game, though.
Yeah. This isn't our biggest derbies. Obviously, Newcastle. This one's a little bit secondary, but I'd still like to beat Borough. I had a really bad experience down at Middlesbrough when I was 18. I got my head kicked in for no reason at all, and we lost, so it was too bad. It was a horrible night, that. So I've also held a little bit of hatred for Borough over that. So. Yeah, I was all right though. Just a quick black eye. Hasn't ruined me looks.
Hopefully none of that at the weekend. It'll be much more enjoyable.
It's the first and only time I've ever been involved in violence at a football match. And we were at Borough. There's a tunnel where the away fan coaches go, and there was just these lads waiting for me and my mate, and we stood no chance, to be honest. We hadn't done anything at all. Just walk back with the sun on top on. So never mind. And we lost, like I say, we'd already lost 2-0. It was shit anyway.
Rough day around.
Rough
day around. We have a special guest is here with us. Charlotte's joining us in the chat. She said, "Welcome to Charlotte. We hope you're feeling much better." And we're not the only ones sharing it, because there's a barrage of people in the chat saying, sending their well wishes. Ryan says it. Cap Aled says it. Simon says it. Everybody wants you to feel better soon, Charlotte. So we do hope that is the case. I can't miss this comment out as well. Lisa is obviously a fan of Jamie Vardy. He can knock on her door, Jamie Vardy, if he wants to. So there you go. Maybe a loan deal with Domino's Pizza might be in his near future. Who knows? Plymouth 0, Millwall 2. Not a great double game week for Plymouth. A wet night down in Plymouth, so it was soggy pasties rather than oggy pasties from Plymouth down there. And Millwall, as we said, got themselves a victory. So I think this is going to be the case with Plymouth, isn't it? I mean, they're going to have a couple of decent results and a couple of struggles, but they'll be fairly happy with sort of where they're sitting at the minute, I'd have thought.
Yeah. If they get lower mid-table, they'll be over the moon, won't they? Just build on this season, because normally they've been up and down, haven't they? They've been a yo-yo club, aren't they? If they need some stability, don't they?
Yeah.
But the only trouble is at the moment they've only won one in the last 5, so they need. We said earlier that their home form is going to be the key, but if you're dropping points to Millwall, who haven't actually been on fire, that's something they've got to sort out. Otherwise, they could find themselves dragged further down near that dotted line.
Yeah,
definitely.
Please don't sack Stephen Schumacher, though.
Good manager.
Come again.
Saying Stephen Schumacher from Plymouth, please don't sack him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've got a special one there. I think this is it. See it through, hopefully. So I hope they can. They need to pick, as you said, that home form's key. They're at home this weekend, but it's Swansea who are in form themselves. So not an easy one for them this weekend. Shah thanks everybody in the chat for the love, of course, and observant as always. Charlotte, there's no draws in this game week, no draws in midweek. So
I noticed that when you put the page up, and then I looked to make sure they were all right. But yeah,
there's a lot of home wins to 0 as well, isn't there?
There's a lot of home wins to 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got to say West Brom collecting over Sheffield Wednesday. No surprise, I think. Probably a surprise it was only 1-0. I think would be the shock there.
Yeah.
Coventry following through on their excellent win with a 1-0, and Leeds, as well as we said, just getting back on the horse after the loss of Southampton to beat QPR. As we said, QPR having a mess everywhere. The Saints will be pleased with that again. A good win away at Stoke. I think Russell Martin said more energy and aggression he's seeing out of that side now, as well as what they've been doing with the Armstrong. So that puts Saints in a better position, but they do need to keep this run going if they're going to hope to get aspirations of going forward and going up. And a really bad double game week for Preston, as we said. 4-0 against West Brom, 3-0 against Leicester. I mean, they're not going to be the only team that are going to be smashed by Leicester, but a struggle for them. Their game coming up at the weekend, as we said, away at Ipswich. I think we did talk about Preston, so I won't go too much into it. But did you think they'll get something at Ipswich at the weekend?
I would love a draw. I would absolutely love a draw. If we win and they draw, we've caught up on both, haven't we? So I would love for Preston to go down and get something from there. But Ipswich are on fire, absolutely on fire. What a job he's doing at Lee McKenna. What a fantastic job. Because I thought they would fall away. I really did. I still think they will. But they're just scoring loads of goals. It just looks so much fun to be an Ipswich fan at the moment, and fair play at them. They're one of those sleeping giants, aren't they, that been down for a long, long time. And, it's nice to see them back where they are. Just don't be singing don't be singing Ed Sheeran songs every week, to be fair. But it must be fun, coming into, from League One and just battering everybody. Reminds us of us last season, to be fair.
Mind you, the way this league's going, they'll probably go there and win.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah, wouldn't shock us, to be honest.
Wouldn't put it past them at all, would you? Wouldn't put it past them. Another Coventry fan in the chat, Glenn Sky Blue Hub, thanks for joining us. Happy as well, of course, with the win for Coventry and Mr. Luke. Everybody up the heat. Yes, we will get to them for sure. Glenn thinks that Ipswich will come unstuck in the end. Not sure it's going to be a massive slide down the league. Well, I mean, should they just be happy being there for now, wouldn't they, and see where it takes them? Enjoy the ride while you're on it, I say, and see where you end up. But other games that we've got down there, say Swansea with another victory, Bristol City turn around a win, and we started with Sunderland long ago in the first game week. Take us through Sunderland to close off the championship for this double game week.
So I wasn't there last night. I was actually in Manchester on a night out with my girlfriend. But I've watched the game back, and very, very comfortable 2-0 victory. A really good sign that I think that the whole week we can beat teams now without having to put a brilliant performance in, where a lot of times last year we were obviously relying on Ahmad Diallo to pull us out the fire a little bit with some magic, or Ross Stewart or something like that. We've gone now 16 games without a striker scoring, but we've scored in nearly every game that a striker hasn't. Obviously, that striker hasn't scored. And we've got, strikers playing for us now. Obviously, Mason Burstall signed from Chelsea, but he seems to be assisting a lot. But we seem to be getting goals from everywhere. Last night, Niall Huggins, who has had a horrible injury record since we signed him from Leeds. We signed him nearly 3 years ago now. Looked a fantastic player, and then he broke his back. He was out for nearly 2 years, and I thought he might not play again. To come back this season, I think come back towards the end of last year, but it's come back, obviously this season, Dennis Certain got injured a few weeks ago, and Huggins has come in and has slowly just, shown that he's going to be a very good footballer. I mean, the goal, I don't know if you've seen it.
Fantastic.
He takes the ball, takes about 5 players on, then just outside of his foot into the top corner. That's his first ever professional goal. I mean, what a time to produce that. And I think everyone at the club was just so happy for him. He's been on, like I say, he's been on a horrible injury run, And for him to get his first goal at the Stadium of Light, class, to be fair. I think everyone's over the moon for him. And then,
I love stuff like that.
Yeah, it was so lovely. And he's a really nice lad. I met him last year at the Player Awards. He's such a lovely bloke. Proper Yorkshire lad as well. He just loves it up here as well, though, to be fair to him. And like I say, he's hit form where when Dennis Certain does come back, I don't know if Dennis Certain comes straight back in because Huggins has been that good. And like I say, we've went and just been quite comfortable over Watford. Let Watford come at us, never done that. We've just picked them off. Scored a second goal when Burstow's put a lovely cross in. Joe Bellingham, that I've just waxed lyrical about every week, heads it back across. And Abdullah Bala, we've got a lovely song about him. It's a tequila song. Instead of singing tequila, we sing Abdullah. And he bangs it in for 2-0, and we just see the game out. They get a lad sent off for nearly killing Jack Clark at the end. Just a nice, comfortable performance. It's a sign of a good team that we haven't, bar the Southampton game, I don't think we've hit our best form yet, but we're still winning games quite easily, quite comfortably. And I think that's a sign of a very good side. I said maybe at the start of the year I'd be happy with playoffs, but at the minute I think we'll be pushing for that second place as long as we keep everybody fit. And we've got players to come back as well. We've got the likes of Pierre Acquois has been out for a few weeks. Bradley Dax missed the last few games. Alex Pritchard missed last night. We've got Ezienda Mayenda, who's never played for us yet, but apparently he's banging the goals in training. We're just, everything's looking good. Really good, comfortable win. And the important thing is, in that double game week there, 2 clean sheets. So we're getting it right in both ends of the pitch. Really, really, really happy with the way it's going.
Yeah, definitely looking very good. Mr. Luke saying it's kind of rare as Sunderland and Newcastle both playing at home at the same time, he said as well.
Well, yeah, but our fixtures were out first, so it's not our fault, is it, really? But it is, well, it is. I don't know, they couldn't really change it, though, could they?
2 different competitions, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, massive European night at Newcastle, obviously. Fair play. They stuffed them, didn't they? But we, like I say, focusing on us, we'll be up there this year, I think. Take away a couple of injuries, that would be spot on.
Yeah, it's looking good, and that takes us nicely onto the table. So yeah, it's just sitting there, sort of nicely in fourth. Ipswich making the jump at the minute up to Leicester, with Preston jumping away. So it's not a million miles away at all. Anticipating that whether Ipswich can keep the form, we don't know. Leicester are likely going to still be there, aren't they? But yeah, that second spot for sure is definitely up for grabs.
And if you look at, obviously, second and third play each other on Saturday, so if that's a draw and we win, obviously Borough's going to be such a difficult game, but if we win that puts us on 22. It will put us ahead of Preston, even if Preston, get a draw, and puts us within 4 points of Ipswich. So, we know what it's like in the Championship, especially with these double game weeks that come thick and fast. 7 points is nothing, I don't think, from us to Surrey to 8 points, and from us to Ipswich. It's nothing. It's two wins and a draw, really, and you're right back on there. And teams go on lulls, don't they? You can't, Burnley last season aside, I don't think these teams have ever run away with this league. And Sunderland actually got more points now than what we had when we won the league with 105 points long time ago now. But we're in a very, very good position. So I'm quite happy with the way it started. To be fair.
I really don't see that Ipswich go in bad form at the minute, though. I know someone said it in the chat that they don't see how long they'll keep it up for. I think they've built really well, and the way that they were promoted last year, some of the football they were playing was better than the standard of League One. And I think I'm not at all surprised that they're doing so well this season.
The only thing that would kind of, that I think a lot of people are saying they will fall away is if they get a run of injuries. Like Sunderland have got 4 or 5 first team players out at the moment, but we're still winning. I think Ipswich.
You can't really sort of estimate. I mean, I don't know what the word is, but you can't really go about ifs and buts, though.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, but I think with you're Ashley, by the way. I think with a season as long as it is, 48 games, you are going to pick up injuries.
Of course.
It's whether their squad depth's good enough to cope with. Like, see if Nathan Broadhead gets injured and Freddie the Dartboard gets injured, there's 2 big strikers that are out for them. George Taylor gets injured in the middle of midfield. I think that's a bit of a blow for them. But they're doing so. I will say they are doing so well. And as Ash has just said, we're playing some amazing football. They are, and I said before, it must be so exciting seeing what your team's doing at the moment. I just think that, especially over Christmas, where games come so thick and fast at you, I think that's where they might fall off a little bit, because it's happened. It does happen to a lot of teams every season, to be fair. Even last year, I think it was top for ages last year. Reading were flying round about this time last year. Lost a couple of games and ended up going down. So it does. I'm not saying for 1 minute the Ipswich will go down, because they won't. They'll be in the top 8.
Well, to me, they are a dark horse for me this season. Yeah, and I rate that they'll be top half of the table.
I think they'll make
top half of the top half.
The top half of the top half. I think they'll make the playoffs. I don't think they'll be in the top 2, but I do think they'll be in the playoffs or just outside of the playoffs. So top 8 guaranteed. Yeah, and I think they'll be over the moon with that, won't they? Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if they finish above their arch rivals, Norwich.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, you look at that league at the minute. From what I've seen, I think Norwich will be there or thereabouts because they're scoring a lot of goals. Coventry will come with a run, especially once they get Callum O'Hare back. Borough will end up coming up there. West Brom are flying, and ourselves, Preston. I think Preston will drop away. And ourselves, Ipswich, Leicester. It's already
Leeds.
kind of. I think you can kind of make excuse for Southampton, but there's 7 teams I've mentioned there. I think there's your core top 7.
Look how close that top half is. You've got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So you go West Brom to
16.
Yeah, your 5th to 14th is 2 points. Yeah. So
you even Preston to Birmingham is only 5 points, 2 wins.
Your 5th place to 20th is 4 points. So it's mad the way that's going to fluctuate. But look at it kind of just putting me red and white hat on again. We've got a little bit of a gap there with that important 3 points that we got last night. And like I say, if we can beat Borough on Saturday, that'll give us a 10 or 11 point advantage on Borough, which already this season it will be hard to pin back. So it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens. Yeah, but I agree with the Coventry fans there about Ben Sheff that the sooner he's back, the better for them. He is a wonderful footballer.
This is it. Still plenty of time to go, and as you said, that Christmas period is always massive because there's so many games over such a it's double game weeks all over the show, isn't it? Triple game weeks in some cases, really. So there we are. That is the Championship. So let's move on. Let's move on to League One. League One is here, and again, a double game week in League One as well. Double game weeks everywhere. Everyone loves a good double game week, apart from Shah, who does the graphics because it's a big strain, and a double up. So straight off the bat, there we've got Blackpool with a victory at Barnsley there. So Blackpool had picked a couple of wins up. It was a Jordan Rhodes penalty, I think. So a surprise. What do we think of Barnsley so far and Blackpool?
Yeah. I don't really think much about either of it.
I think that's a hell of a win for Blackpool because they haven't been brilliant. And Barnsley, they're sitting 4th in. I think they've got a fairly decent side. So, yeah, I think that's a good result for Blackpool winning at Barnsley. So that'll give them a bit of a boost to push up. And very good win.
Yeah, good win there for Blackpool. Shawnee's happy. Lovely League One weekend for us. Have to remind me, Shawnee, you support. Well, I'm not in the lower league. I'm not seeing Northampton. There we go.
Fan, yeah.
There we go. Well, we'll flip down to that because Derby 0, Cambridge 0. Boring. Don't like 0-0s. Come on, sort it out. We rush through 0-0s because you don't deserve to be talked about the 0-0. Come on. Northampton 2, Exeter 0 at Exeter as well for Northampton. A good win for them. They're another with a double game week win. Very good.
Exeter seems to be falling a bit now. So they had a brilliant start, didn't they? They're not even in the playoffs anymore.
No, you're right.
Yeah, they dropped right off, haven't they? I think
Yeah,
they are now 3 losses in a row, Exeter.
Yeah, lost 4 of the last 5.
Woo! Fucking Spider again!
he's back. He must go on holiday. He just waits for Thursdays. He's a Thursday spider.
I think he just loves League One, didn't he, that Spider? I'm sure it was League One the last time we were talking about it.
He's a Northampton fan. Oh dear. Did you go for the Conkers, Claire? That's the most important question of the week. What did you do about the Conkers?
I didn't, but I definitely am now.
Yeah, go and get some Conkers. You'll be fine.
You'll be all right. There we go. Spidergate is back, says Shawnee.
Me and Daisy going to the park on Saturday morning before the football.
Oh dear. Yeah, attack of the spiders again from Cap Aled in the chat. So yeah, good win for Northampton. Exeter dropping off a little bit as well. And another who had a good win, who's been sort of struggling and poor form. Fleetwood with a double game week win. A nice win at Leyton Orient to kind of push them a bit sort of further up. I think this is the start of Fleetwood getting a bit further up the table.
I think they'll be probably
in charge, no. But they do call Lee Johnson Streaky Lee. He goes on, runs where he either wins or loses. That's his nickname. So,
my bucket list item is to see a streaker.
Streaky Lee.
Just you saying about streaky whatever.
Yeah. Have you never seen one? Not been one at Stock, but I've seen a lot. It's on there.
No, I've never seen one. Bit disappointing, really.
I can remember once, right? We were in the quarter-final of the League Cup and we were playing Chelsea and we were getting beat 1-0 and we weren't playing very well at all. And then this girl streaker came on and I can't remember who she was, one of the Chelsea players. One Chelsea players, when they give them that look, like, all right. And then, but that streak came on just really like energy because every time like a streak comes on the pitch, hey, you know what I mean, and energize the fans, and we end up winning 2-1. It just gives the fans that lift to like kind of get. We got like the final out of that.
Joke about Ant's Christmas tree, but I'm a bit worried your Christmas tree's not going to come up before Christmas now, Ant. I mean, what's are Cheltenham going to score? Is the question. Unbelievable.
I think Darryl Clark is a brilliant manager, and I think once he's settled in and starts doing his thing, they will improve. However, they've not replaced Alfie May with anyone that's going to score even half that number of goals. So I do think they'll still continue to struggle.
I think they've equalled the record now, haven't they, in the EFL, not scoring in 11 matches, which is
I think
mad.
They're going for our record of lowest points total for relegation from League One.
I just think they feel sorry for my electric bill. So, well done, Chelsea. But I think they'll score on Saturday. There we are. I think they'll get it out on Saturday.
Christmas tree.
They did hit the post. They hit the post on Tuesday, so getting closer.
No, I think they'll score on Saturday. I think that's the prediction. They can't go until November, December without scoring.
There's a point that something goes in, doesn't it? Whether it's off a knee or off a backside or something goes
that's
over
what
the
they
line.
Need. Yeah,
need the worst goal ever. Better to no goal.
Probably will be. Yeah, you'll be top goal scorer of the club.
Either an own goal or a 45-yard bullet from the right back or something, won't it? It won't be like just a tap in.
No. It will be memorable. It will be memorable for sure for Cheltenham, hopefully. So they went down 2-0 to Lincoln. Echoing say we touched on the start as well. Massive condolences to Leyton Orient and the family of the fans suffering a medical emergency. Yeah, we spoke at the start. We completely share those very, very sad news there with regards to Leyton Orient. So moving on, Peterborough 2, Bristol Rovers 0 as well. Peterborough another one. Johnson Clark Harris is banging in the goals as well for them. I think he's got 6 so far. So Peterborough doing not really a shock, that one.
Didn't he nearly go there as well, Sam?
Apparently the deal was all done for quite big money as well, and it fell through at the last minute for some reason.
Yeah, they were going to break their record transfer fee. I think what had happened, if I remember rightly, he'd gone in a taxi, I don't know, from the team hotel to go and meet Bristol Rovers.
That's a long taxi ride.
I can't remember where it's from. It was a team hotel before an away game. I don't know if it was maybe like Portsmouth or something. Anyway, it fell through because they weren't able to submit the paperwork in time. So maybe that's still on for January.
Could well be. Could well come back around, but not great for them at the moment. Good win for Peterborough, and another who got a double game week win. Bolton are starting to put some results together. A win away at Port Vale as well. Dion Charles is absolutely ranking them in so far for Bolton. Bolton still heavy on our list as possibilities to go up League One.
Yeah.
Port Vale seem to be falling away a little bit as well. Just mentioned Exeter. Port Vale seem to have hit a little bit of a snag in their season. They were doing really well, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. They had that horrendous first game, didn't they? And then they went on a really nice run, didn't they? But yeah, I think Port Vale have no win in the last 4 with 3 losses, so a struggle for them at the minute. They need to pick things up. I was going to tell you who they're playing at the weekend, but I've written down here they're playing Port Vale, so maybe they'll get a win. Port Vale reserves they're playing, by the sounds of my list.
That's great.
Oh dear. So, and then we move on to Reading, Burton Albion 0-0, boring. Come on, do better. Shrewsbury 0-0, Charlton, boring. Come on, do better. I mean, in some of this, do you think, knowing you've got a double game week, that you're rotating squads and you're being a bit careful what with that in the mindset? Does that make a difference, or do you just go sod it?
You should be doing that at this point in the season.
Yeah. Speaking of Charlton, where's Graham tonight? I haven't seen Graham in the team.
I messaged him because he wasn't on Monday either. And I messaged him to see if he was all right. And he said he's got the internet in the village isn't working very well.
Oh, not the village. It's always the village.
He's got an engineer coming out tomorrow.
Well, it's get better soon, Charlotte, and it's get your electricity better soon, Graham, as well. There you go.
Is it still dial-up where he lives?
It's still dial-up. Well, if you saw... If you saw our coverage of the Italian Serie A last week on the Monday podcast, Charlotte had to manage the Italian Serie A. So apparently Lecce over there are Lecce. So maybe that's it. Let's go over to Italy and get some of their Lecce.
How did you pronounce Sassuolo?
I think gave up by that one. I think gave up by then. Stevenage 1, Oxford 3 as well. Stevenage, a rough double game week for them, double loss for them.
They were doing really well, so I think it's a great result for Oxford.
Yeah, pains me to say it. Hate Oxford.
I think they'll go up this year, Oxford.
I
think they might go up.
I think in fairness, they've got a pretty decent side, so as much as that hurts to say it, but and they won 4 on the bounce, so you can't argue with it, can you?
Yeah.
No, good form and beating some good teams in the process as well. So good win for Oxford, and Portsmouth obviously are the team absolutely putting the pedal down at the moment with a 2-1 win away at Wigan. Wigan are another, aren't they? They've dropped off. They got they had their points deduction, flew out the traps, and it's sort of hit a bit of a sticky patch, haven't they?
Yeah, I think they'll be all right, but they need to sort themselves out, don't they?
See, Charlie Wyke's tackle to get him sent off. Proper strikers
challenge.
Proper strikers challenge.
Proper strikers challenge. So Portsmouth have been, it's been years, isn't it? They've been kind of touted to be going up for a number of years. I know there's some Southampton fans down here actually that if they stay, they do want Portsmouth back up. I think they've missed that. They've missed that rivalry because Bournemouth and Brighton have tried to force that kind of rivalry on them, and it's just not. It's not the same. So
I think the thing is like a bit like us. Sometimes you go through a period of time where you just don't have a rival, so you try and sort of get a little bit of a rival. So I understand why they've done it.
Yeah, they like to, and there's been some tight games with those. City with Bournemouth, I think last season got a little bit tasty, but Saints and Portsmouth just seem to be going the opposite directions over the past decade. So so Saints came up Portsmouth on the way down, and maybe they're kind of going to meet in the middle a bit. So we'll see. Yeah. Maybe next season we'll get that. Wycombe 2, Carlisle United 0. Mr. Luke in the chat says Carlisle United are trying to find their feet in League One, it looks like, for Carlisle.
They had their keeper sent off. That Yokel Anderson was sent off within the half hour for handling the ball outside the area, denying a bit of a goal-scoring opportunity doing so. I don't think he deliberately did it. He just kind of momentum took him out the box, really.
I thought it was harsh.
See, it depends on the situation, doesn't it? And because one of Wycombe's players realistically could have got to the ball. Yeah, I think it's just the rules in it. But they scored a penalty then, Wycombe, as well. So I think they had the rubber green that day. That was in the 40th minute, wasn't it? But I still rate that Carlisle might come down.
Yeah, bit of a struggle for them. And talking of rivalries, Cap Aled saying they've got their rivalry back with Tranmere, but eyes on you and our rival with Shrewsbury. Everyone's got that team, isn't it, that they're looking for? It's almost the second result you're looking for. You've got a rival. What's going on in that league? So we've got through the Saturday. It's double game week again. There's more games and a lot of home wins. A lot of home wins in League One as well in the midweek games.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of goals as well.
Yeah. I think Derby had a good result, Bolton had a good result, Bristol, good result. There's a lot of good results in there, really, isn't there? I think the Leyton Orient game was abandoned, actually, so that was abandoned in the 80th.
Yeah, it was.
The sad loss of the fan. But yeah, some not very surprising results, really, I think.
Yeah, looking at those fixtures, they're pretty much results you'd expect, aren't they?
Yeah.
There's no real standout.
There's not a shock, is there?
No, there's nothing you think, cool, blimey, wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, nothing like a team doing really well, going and losing somewhere where they shouldn't have lost. All the favourites were winning there.
Paul Graham missing out us talking about a 4-1 Charlton win, though.
Yeah. They scored some nice goals as well. Alfamir, I think, scored a couple of good goals there. And is it Leyburn is the winger they've got?
Yeah.
He scored a lovely goal. I watched that. Watched them goals the other night. Actually, that was a really, really nice goal. But yeah, I mean, the only one there, I think Shawnee's put wasn't expected to beat Reading, but I would have had Northampton to beat Reading there.
Yes.
Reading are just on a really horrible run, losing points and getting points deducted, and the owners are doing what the owners are doing. I would have expected Northampton Town to beat them, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Charles back in the chat saying Carlisle. Yeah, good point for Carlisle against Peter, as we just said. They're struggling actually. Yeah. In the reverse of what we said against the weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of good wins there for teams you'd expect. A lot of goals going in. So very good. Taking us to the League One table. And of course, Portsmouth and Oxford are well and truly setting the pace. It's a great start for those two, and so it's still, again, tight as well. It's 10 games in. There's not a lot. I've got a win or two in different places. Obviously, in League One, we've got games missed and postponement, so there's a few games in hand to consider as well. But any shockers for you that, someone that you think's overachieving in that top half at the moment?
Well, Stevenage are doing really well. Mind you, they have fallen off the pace a little bit from what they were. But
yeah, Steve Evans gets.
Steve Evans. That's it.
Yeah, he always gets results, doesn't he? Whether they can sustain it is a different matter, but that's why that Oxford win was a real good win at their place.
Yeah, Cheltenham on 1 point, bless him.
You know what? I had Shrewsbury to be the outsiders for promotion this year, and the bloody 19th.
Yeah, Cheltenham, they're going to have to hope that Darryl Clark works miracles. But also, how nice is it to see Darryl Clark back in football after such a sad time for his family?
Yeah, definitely. I've got a lot of time for Darryl Clark, to be fair. Did a wonderful job. He was at Port Vale, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Bristol, he's Bristol Rovers, ex-Bristol Rovers man, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Did he get them back up from the conference? I've got them back into the Football League.
Yeah, I think he did.
I should know this.
He had a bit of time out after losing his daughter.
He did, that's right. He's a lovely bloke as well.
Yeah, it's nice to see that he feels ready to come back, and hopefully he does a very good job for him.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely agree with that. Just as long as I don't score before December. But I do think we'll score on Saturday. I really do. I think it'll be on Saturday. I really do.
It's got to happen.
I'm excited for it.
I'm not.
I started looking out every week now for Cheltenham to score.
Sure, yeah. Checking at half time at Stockport, and Claire will be thinking Stockport has scored, jumping up in the crowd.
You know what though? On the way to the football on Tuesday night, I saw my first Christmas tree of the year.
Never in the world.
Honestly, I took a picture of it to send to you, but because the car was moving, you can tell that it's a Christmas tree, but it's a shocking picture. I'll tweet it after this.
I'm shocked and appalled.
To be fair, I am like Mrs. Claus. I love Santa. I love Christmas that much, but even I was like, "Oh my god, that is way too early."
Oh, yeah, I mean, I love Christmas as much as the next person. I mean, like on Christmas Eve, I've got the Nomad Santa app on, see where he's at and everything like that. I love all that stuff. I'm 37 years old. I do that for me. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I mean, like, 3rd or 4th of October.
I'm just very excited for your tree to go up.
I might put it up in this room as well, so I can have it in the background next week if I'm on.
Next week.
I think we'll score. Honestly, I think we'll score on Saturday. I do. I'm giving it up on Saturday.
You've got to take some videos of you putting the tree up.
There you go. And Shawnee's asking, was it outside Ant's house by any chance, Claire? You saw the screen.
No, tell them I haven't scored yet.
No. Me too. I'm a fan of Christmas, but yeah, it's too early. Although I must say, some mince pies turned up in our shopping this week, and I didn't turn them down. I'll tell you what, that was.
Have you been tucking into them?
Oh hell yeah, I'm not leaving them till
they
Christmas.
Should have gone away. It's too early for a mince pie.
Oh, they're not like they were the fresh ones though, so they ain't lasting 2 months. So,
fair.
Don't want to waste them.
Our local supermarket that I won't name for possible legal reasons had the chocolates up in July.
Oh, yeah, same.
Made the excuse was it's for teachers on the last day of school. Like, no, it's not.
I've got to be honest, though. Like, you can't beat Christmas chocolate. Like, when Easter chocolate comes out just after, like, on Boxing Day, I'm like, yes, you can't beat it.
It just tastes nicer, doesn't it, than Easter
£1, like, mini egg Easter eggs. It's just well better than a normal chocolate bar.
Totally agree.
Anyway, we better move on.
There we go. Christmas trees, tinsel and chocolate. There we are. That's the end of League One.
We're not allowed tinsel in our house. My girlfriend hates it. No red and white tinsel.
I hate tinsel. It's disgusting.
Apparently, it's tacky.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
I put it around my pictures on the wall. I don't know why I'm pointing. Like you can.
Do you remember like workmen's clubs in the early 2000s? Workmen's clubs, they always had that old style Christmas stuff up. I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? But the missus is like, no,
absolutely not.
No tinsel.
Look at that at the top. Isn't it lovely?
Look at that.
It was 3-1.
Sorry, I'll have to have a word with our graphics designer. I don't know what's happened there. Maybe she's done it on purpose. Maybe knowing it was you, she's docked you a goal. She's given it to Cheltenham. She felt sad for them. So go on then, Claire. Tell us all about Stockport.
Well, it was possibly the wettest afternoon ever for football in an uncovered stand. So we arrived in the pouring down rain and it did not stop the whole time we were there. So obviously I dug out all our waterproofs, went in the ground, got ourselves a nice pie. And I must say, well done, Accrington. Your Balti pies are spot on. Locally produced as well, which is nice. Don't rate the toilets being in a Portaloo, but what can you do? So the football itself,
pies up, Portaloo's down.
It was 3-1, not 2-0, but hey ho. We actually scored in the 12th minute, and that was through Tanto, who I must say again, and I've said it for the last couple of weeks, I gave him a bit of stick at the beginning of the season, and I kept saying it's really frustrating because you can see that he has the potential, but he just seems to be frightened. I've got to say, he's looking full of confidence. He's taking shots where he probably would have passed the ball before. So it's just a pleasure seeing him coming out of that spell of looking like he was scared. He received the ball from Odin Bailey on the edge of the box. And he shot from the edge of the box, took it past a couple of players, shot through a crowd of players, still went into the far right corner, which was, it was a good goal. We then scored again 4 minutes later. So Anthony Sarcevic played a right nice ball. That was very Northern, wasn't it? A right nice ball.
Right nice ball.
Through to Will Collar, who managed to score. So that was nice. We did hit the crossbar. We hit the post. And then in the second half, I'm trying to remember the minutes, but I suppose they don't really matter, do they? We won a penalty when Odin Bailey was knocked over by a defender. Some say it was harsh, but anywhere else on the pitch, it's a free kick. He's literally going to win the ball and he gets bundled over. So, yeah, probably a little bit soft, but it is a penalty with the rules. And then up steps that man, Louis Barry, to score his 7th goal in 7 games. We're all absolutely in love with a lone player, which is not a good thing when he's in such good form. Jack Nolan did pull a goal back at the end, well, near the end, 86th minute or something, for Accrington. But first half, we were great. Second half, we just invited pressure on. But we always had a way. And it seems like teams just have to take efforts from long range because they can't break through us like they could, which is very pleasing considering our issues at the start of the season. But things look like they clicked for us. Great. The second half was just torrential rain. At one point we were singing 3-0 up and we're pissed wet through. And then, because we had 1,900 fans there, so it's 49% of the crowd, the fans in the covered section were singing 3-0 up and we're not pissed wet through. So we were having a bit of banter with our own fans. But yeah, great 3 points for us. It took us to 4 wins out of 4. So yeah, you can well and truly say we've found a way to win.
There you go. And it was a very soggy afternoon, and so in recognition of your hard work and getting through all of that, the dedication as a fan, Claire, I've got you a little surprise here today. So this is if you see was Claire surviving the wet at Accrington. There you go. And the good thing is because I think because you've done that, then surely it means it's going to carry on for a good season. So you're ready for when you get to Wembley for the playoff final, ready to make it, ready on another soggy afternoon. And even you might even get pitch side. You might get pitch side.
That's too funny.
Ready for the big one. And of course, if you get the job,
to go to Wembley again, we need to go
automatically. Well, if you do, then you'll want to celebrate afterwards, and the best place to celebrate is a beer garden, of course. So get yourself to the beer garden for a post-match. We're not finished yet. There's more to come.
Oh God.
with a post-match pint, of course. And then there's the parade. There's the victory parade where the sun is out, but you're so used to the match.
You've literally got to count your victory parade.
You're ready to go. And then after all of that, the fun thing you deserve is a holiday on the beach, of course.
That's class. That's class. That's brilliant.
There we go. There we go.
Out with South Park on there.
Oh God.
There we are. Well, at least you'll dry out in the last one, so you'll be all right there.
No, it was pissing down on Tuesday as well. Oh God.
Oh dear. So back to the football. Back to League Two. AFC Wimbledon 4-1. 4-1 for AFC Wimbledon. They're on a bit of a tear, aren't they? 3 on a row for them.
But that was their first home win of the season.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it? Consider their second with just one home win. That's well, it shows how well they've been away from home, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they have drawn a lot at home. I think we were the first team to beat them this season. So, yeah.
Very good for AFC Wimbledon. Very good win for them. And Barrow, another getting a victory over Doncaster. I think they picked up a little bit, didn't they? Doncaster. That was the first loss for them.
Yeah. Apparently, the last time they beat Barrow at Barrow was when American Pie single was at number 1, which was in the 70s.
Wow.
Whoa.
The plain one.
Yeah, most of you lot won't even know what she's talking about. I do.
I know what she's talking about. I wasn't born then, but I know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
I know the music. Great song.
Oh yeah, good win for Barrow. Probably not a surprise.
No, good win for them.
For Walsall though at Bradford.
Yeah, very good win for Walsall. Yeah, they'd had a couple of losses prior to that, so a nice win for them for sure at Bradford. And of course, the big news at Bradford: no more Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes has gone.
We had a bit of a debate about that in our in one of our county WhatsApp groups today, and people were saying they think it's the wrong move because Mark Hughes is a winner or whatever. But I think he had to go. He didn't get him promoted last season, which was their objective. And this season, he's got him much worse. Mm-hmm. He's lost the fans. When Andy Cook scored a goal, he went mouthing off to some fans in the stand, from what I've seen. So it just seems like everything's not good at Bradford. So I think the managerial change is a good thing.
Yeah, I don't.
I know you said last week. I hope they don't sack him before we go next week.
Yeah, we play him. We play him Saturday. Well, and
prawn sandwich in it, aren't you?
Sorry,
prawn sandwich brigade.
Yeah, in hospitality at an away game. That's going to be a very interesting afternoon.
There you go. They've changed the manager. You need to find out if they've changed the catering. That's what we need to find out at the weekend. Is it still have they upgraded, ready for your arrival, Nick? That's what this all changes for, perhaps.
Yeah, no, I reckon we'll get all the rubbish on our table. As our Swindon supporters, are not giving them anything decent.
To be fair, Nick, I've heard that you're getting oggy pasties.
Oh,
that'll do. I'm quite partial to a pasty, so that's fine.
I need to get myself an oggy pasty.
Do that's a fair jaunt to get them up from Plymouth for Bradford as well. It's a fair play if they did that for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mark Hughes is gone. A couple that say I think the favourites at the minute seem to be Danny Cowley or Liam Richardson. A couple of names that are being linked around with it at the moment. Any thoughts on who might get the Bradford job?
No, but I've just seen that you can buy oggy pasties online.
So don't worry, Bradford fans.
I'm so glad we haven't got any Bradford fans.
Dear.
There you go. No managers, but oggy pasties on tap. So you can't have it all.
I've heard rumours about Crawley's manager departing.
Scott Lindsay
not being sacked but leaving, so I don't know if he was
linked with Gillingham as well. I think.
Yeah, but he's down from that way, isn't he? So I can't see him going all the way up to Bradford. Gills is probably more likely if Crawley let him go. If there's any truth in the rumours.
I think any team in that league who can get Danny Cowley would automatically be better off. I think that'd be a fantastic sign. Whoever gets him. A great managerial appointment. I mean, I agree with Claire about Hughes. I don't get this. He's a winner stuff. Yeah, he was.
No.
Yeah, don't get us wrong, but I don't think he's done a decent job anywhere he's been as a manager, to be honest. Hence why he's in League Two.
Yeah.
You know, he's not done it anywhere he's went.
No,
Yeah,
certainly
I
agreed.
hasn't. Yeah, not been a winner really as a manager, and no experience really. He's learning on the job at that level. It's not, it's two things coming together. I think for Mark Hughes, where he go, I don't know what happens. Where does he go now? I mean, is that going to be it? Who's going to take a chance on him next? I mean, someone will probably, but
yeah, maybe foreign team or something like that, or like one of these. Remember when Tony Adams got some job in, I think it was in Asia or something. He was doing his Strictly Come Dancing dance to warm them up.
Yeah.
He did better than that, by the way. But
my little prediction for Mark Hughes is he stays out of work for a little bit, and then it's when, not if. When Wrexham sacked Phil Parkinson,
that's not a bad shout.
Wrexham boy Mark Hughes goes to Wrexham.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. That.
Yeah, true.
But that would be a big risk for them, though, wouldn't it? Because, like you say, he hasn't really done anything. And if Wrexham, yeah, I guess it's where Wrexham end up at the end of this season, isn't it? It depends if they get out the league or not.
As much as it pains to say, because we had Phil Parkinson at Sunderland and he was dreadful, but I would rather have Phil Parkinson than Mark Hughes.
Yeah.
But I know I think Claire's onto something there, to be honest. I think it'd be something where it's like, if they got rid of him now, who would you want? Someone like, a local boy, this, that, and the homecoming, we'll give him the money and all this stuff, and then probably fall flat on its face. But it does make sense, that.
Yeah, some logic in it. But...
Yeah.
For once, Nick.
For once. That soaking's done you good.
Oh, we were so cold after that, Nick.
Well, that's how I felt when we played at your place in the FA Cup, and I didn't have any waterproofs on.
Oh, were you in the uncovered bit?
Yep. And it absolutely hammered it, and we got beat 4-0. What a day that was.
Sorry.
There we go. And a phenomenal scoreline at Colchester. Colchester 5, Notts County 4. Not one for the defensive coaches there. 5-4 Colchester. A great win for Colchester, of course, with Notts County doing so well. But
if you find the right way to play against Notts County, I think Notts County will struggle because of the way they play and their defence are positioned. I genuinely think, obviously, I do rate them to be up there, and they do score a lot, but I think they'll struggle against some teams with pacey players.
Did County have a player sent off as well? So it was a red card early on in that game. I might be wrong.
There was a red card, but I don't think it was early on.
But good result for Colchester. I mean, Colchester have been struggling down the bottom, haven't they? But they've beat Gillingham this season and they've beat Notts County, so 2 good results for them, really.
Yeah, Colchester had a player sent off 79th minute for a second yellow.
Yeah. The County
I'll tell you what, though, have you seen the goals? Because the goal that Jody Jones scored was unreal. It was amazing.
I haven't. I've got to be honest.
No, I haven't seen them, to be honest.
It just was a long range, hopeful shot. It's a great goal.
Is Jody Jones the ex-Coventry Jody Jones?
I think so.
I think it is. Yeah.
It's a good sign for them.
Mm-hmm. So after a 4-5 loss, great win for Colchester and Notts County. But as we see, Notts County. We'll let Nick cover that midweek one when we get there. But next up, we've got Crawley. Crawley 3-0 win at Sutton. Crawley, the surprises, I think, of the league. Everyone we had then tipped, didn't we, in struggle. But they're up in the playoff places at the minute.
They won't stay there.
They won't stay there if the manager leaves, to be fair. If the manager's going to Gillingham, then you can wave goodbye at the playoffs to Crawley Town, I'm afraid. But Sutton is struggling.
I don't think they'll stay there anyway.
No,
really
Sutton is struggling badly, aren't they? Sutton United are really, rooted to the bottom, aren't they?
Yeah, they got 1 point out of their last 6.
Yeah.
6 games, that is, not 6 points.
Yeah, not great for Sutton at all. It's going to be an interesting one. And so Capella's looking forward to, they've got Crawley next Saturday. So one to watch there coming up this weekend as well. Forest Green 1, Morecambe 2. So Morecambe with a nice win for themselves. They've kind of been, they're stuck sort of rooted mid-table, aren't they, at the minute, Morecambe?
Yeah, they weren't a bad side, actually. They're probably better than their position was showing earlier in the season when they were near the bottom end. They're quite a decent side. Yeah,
good for them, and they're sitting nicely in mid-table.
With Forest Green are where they deserve to be, so that's fine.
Forest Green are awful, absolutely awful.
Yeah, it's not going very well for them. It hasn't gone very well for them the last couple of years, has it? They were well and truly in free fall for sure.
Yeah.
Gills 1, Mansfield 1, Gillingham 1-1. Scoops was an unhappy.
Oh yeah.
I'm not surprised.
If you thought the Liverpool fans were giving it on Twitter, you should have seen Scoops in our private chat on the Gillingham result. My word.
Yeah, he wasn't happy, was he? And you can see why. Because Gillingham are 1-0 up, and then the referee blows the whistle, gets his card out, goes to book the Gillingham player, then sees that Notts County are playing. So, I mean, Mansfield are playing. So he just runs away. Carries on with the card in his hand. Firstly, he's blown the whistle. Secondly, he's got a card out. You can't play.
That was his mistake, is having the card out. If he hadn't done that, you could argue that they took a quick free kick and that was fine. But because he got the card out, obviously, Gills players, you'd actually stop, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was poor, very poor.
The funniest thing about all that one was, though, that after the goal, he still went and booked the player. He's not.
He ran back, didn't he, and booked him.
He's still I suppose did Gillingham ask for a replay like Liverpool did? I don't think they did.
Not I've heard.
Don't even go there with that. God.
Well, they haven't got a manager to do a press conference to ask for it.
No, that's true.
Maybe that's
They did on Saturday.
That's true. That's true. So they were frustrated, and so obviously as we just mentioned, Neil Harris has got the boot.
I'm surprised about that. I know they've not won for a little while, but they're 4 points off the top of the league. They've had a great start. But I guess he had lost a lot of fans because of his boring style of football. So they've only scored 9 goals all season, something like that. And they've not conceded many, but as I said before, to get away with that, you have to be consistently good at it.
Yeah.
Or you will lose the fans quickly. So I suppose I'm surprised, but not surprised at the same time, if that makes sense.
It's the worst thing, isn't it? That if you are winning, but winning badly, it eventually turns. And the problem is if you're not winning and, putting teams to bed, and kind of the boring 1-0s, this, that, and the other. Once it flips over, it's very quickly that the fans turn on the manager, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. I think it's slightly harsh. 4 points off top. I think maybe give them till Christmas, but it's obvious that Gillingham's owner wants them up this season, isn't it? Because he's obviously went for that. For that straight away when it's kind of turned a little bit. So it's obvious that's what he wants. But careful what you wish for, isn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes it's better the devil you know, innit?
Yeah, and to be fair,
they're only 1 point off of second.
Yeah. It seems a little bit of a knee jerk reaction. And I've got to be honest as well. Obviously, I'm not a Gillingham fan or anything like that. Like I said, it's the most scared I've been at an away game, being in that scaffolding.
Right, they don't use the top tier of it anymore, just the bottom tier.
Well, they bloody did when I was there.
The first time I went, I was in the top tier, and I caused a queue, being very, very hungover, trying to walk down from the top. But it's not been used for years. That
no, it was when I was last there a few years ago in League One. I was frightened out of my life, but we did beat them. But I think Neil Harris, to be fair though, deserves a lot of praise for the job he did do last year when. He got them. They were
dead and buried, wouldn't they?
Yeah. So I mean, maybe that deserved a little bit more loyalty. I don't know. Scoops will obviously know a lot more than us. He follows them. So it's just, I think it's sad when you see some managers lose the job, especially. I quite like Neil Harris anyway. He's been through his difficulties, hasn't he? He's fought testicular cancer and everything like that, and found his way back. A hell of a footballer when he was playing.
I don't think he'd be out of football for long.
No, I agree with that. No, it wouldn't shock me if he gets one of the other jobs that is going around at the moment.
Yeah,
to be honest, probably not the Sheff Wed job. Maybe something else that flies about. But no, good luck to him, and good luck to Gillingham. See what happens with him.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's to make a change of a manager at any time, but at that time, you do see it with a lot of clubs. They think that they can step on, and then if they're not careful, they hit the brakes, don't they? And it doesn't quite work with the next guy coming in. So it'd be interesting who Gillingham go for that appointment, what they're thinking. As you say, owners are massively keen to get them up, so they will be, I imagine, massively ambitious with whoever they're going to try and attract.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. We'll see what happens for them. Harrogate with a win at MK Dons.
Have you seen the goal?
Oh, that's a classic.
I did tell you on the chat today. So sorry.
League 2 goal all over it.
Harrogate did not have a shot on target the whole match. Right. MK Dons had loads. And MK Dons goalie kicks the ball out, hits it on one of their players, and the ball goes back and goes in the net. So it's an own goal.
Just goes to show there's only one stat in football that counts in it. The final score. I keep saying it.
I hate Harrogate though, so I hate Milton Keynes more. So
it's the only one that matters. That goal. It's what's known to players of Football Manager as being FMs. That is where you dominate the other team, plenty of shots. The other one hasn't had any, and the one you get some bonkers goal like that. So that's unbelievable like that. MK franchise, as Simon calls them. And Charlotte in the chat as well reckons that Neil Harris reminds her of Jim McNulty. Maybe he's a long lost relative. There we go. Harris and McNulty. Could be a duo. Elsewhere, we've got Salford. Salford picked up a win against Newport. So they had a decent game week. They had 2 wins after 4 losses on the bounce. They got a double game week win, which was much needed because Salford have been struggling, haven't they, to pick anything up? So a good win for them over Newport. And then here we come. Swindon Town 2, Grimsby Town 1. Go on then, Nick.
Yeah, home form continues to be good. A comfortable victory. I actually thought Grimsby would come and park the bus and sit back, but they actually came out quite attacking, which was a bit of a surprise for the sort of first 15-20 minutes, without really creating too much, to be fair. But we went ahead on the 26th minute. The combination of young Austin, a beautiful through ball lofted over to Kemp, who controlled, went forward and hit it into the far corner. Really, really good goal, that. And then the rest of the half was sort of played out. We didn't really create too much. No clear-cut chances, and likewise with them. And then second half, it was similar. We should have had a most blatant penalty you will see right in front of the linesman. Hepburn Murphy goes into the box, has his shirt nearly ripped off his back, nothing given. And to make it even worse, a few minutes later, he had the same thing done on the halfway line, and the ref gives a free kick and books the player. So it's like, it just frustrates you so much. And then we got a really good second goal, 64 minutes. Kemp again involved, played a lovely through ball to Kane, and I think that was his first start of the season. Beautiful left foot chip over the keeper into the far side. Really, really good goal. Yeah, it's a really excellent goal. And then they started pushing. They put 3 subs on, and straight away Wilson for them. Did 2 centre halves on the edge of the box. Absolutely done them. Controlled it in quite a real good finish into the far post. And then then you start thinking you're going to get a bit nervy. But basically the game was played out after that. And a comfortable win, good 3 points against what was a better side. Well, they played better than I thought they were going to. So I think they're a decent side, and I think they'll probably be mid-table. But yeah, good win and enjoyable afternoon.
There we go. What was the weather like? Did you have the same as Claire? Did you have your Mac on?
No, it was fine. No rain or wind or anything. No, it was lovely.
Sure, when I sent you that picture, you were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, bloody hell, it's sunny here."
Yeah, sunny on and off the pitch. It was great. And I had a pasty, which was excellent. So it's a good day all round.
There you go. Pasties were good. What about the
Oh, yeah.
Portaloos?
And also, I picked up 48 quid by winning on the Swindon Lotto. So excellent day.
Way.
Get that in your bar fund for Saturday.
It's gone. That went Tuesday.
Smashing afternoon then for Swindon.
Yeah, really good.
Excellent win for Swindon. And finally, if we go into the next round of the double game week, Wrexham 3, Crewe Alexandra. It was a last minute gasp from Wrexham as well, from Stephen Fletcher. Goals as well from Paul Mullin for them. Last minute goals to rescue a point. You've got to take it, haven't you, at that point? So
they had 10 men for a while as well, which I've watched it about 12 times, and I don't see how it's a red card personally. Quite harsh. I don't understand why it was. Paul Mullin's goal was great. It was an overhead kick.
I saw that. Yeah, it was a good goal.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and obviously, it probably is a good result for Wrexham having been put down to 10 men so early on. So, probably a better result for them than Crewe.
Yeah,
given that circumstance.
Yeah, definitely. Limbs for Capello. Never a dull day with Wrexham. That's very true. It's very true. Well, apart from the 0-0 coming up.
Yeah, we'll skip past that.
We'll skip past that. 0-0s are not allowed. We've already established this. And as we come through to the second game week, here we go. So we'll flick through some of these. Gillingham again with a 2-0 loss there after what happened at the weekend, and that was enough. That was Neil Harris seen and shown the door. Doncaster picking up a good win at Crawley. Crawley been in a bit of form, so
it was a good win.
Probably see Crawley falling down a bit now, I reckon.
Sounds like you're hoping, Claire.
No, it's not even that. I just can't see them staying where they are. I don't have any opinion on Crawley, good or bad. They're just another team, but I just can't see them staying there.
One to watch. Will Crawley be there? Will they not? We will see. As Nick says, Grimsby turned up on Tuesday as well and got themselves 3 points in return. So a good win for them over Barrow. So they picked it up, and AFC Wimbledon kept their good form together as they beat Harrogate. So that sticks them nicely into second position on a fantastic run that they are. Mansfield 0, Wrexham 0. No, thank you. No 0-0s. Obviously, let all their entertainment out on the Saturday. No goals at Mansfield there. And Morecambe 1, Accrington 1. Accrington, after being done by Stockport, got a draw, but they've been in some poor form, haven't they, as well? Accrington, they're struggling.
Yeah.
You can see why they're not very good. I mean, maybe the day was difficult to play in that rain, but...
Yeah, but they've only won out of the last 6.
Yeah, they have. So Cap Alistair sorry, I'm looking at Wrexham here, but yeah, Accrington won away at Morecambe. It is a point, I suppose, but they're going to need more and turn some stuff round. Newport County with victory over Colchester. So Newport picking up a win after they've had a bit of a dodgy run as well, haven't they? Dropping down, but probably higher than we thought they might be.
Yeah, that's a good win.
Yeah, good win over those. And here we go to Swindon Part 2, Nick, at Notts County.
Yeah, Notts County. Again, we had... I'll take it back a bit. That's the best team we've played. Give them credit. They've got some really good players. They deserve their win. They were better than us on the day. Certainly the first half, they absolutely bossed it. We were 3-0 down in the first half. That killed us totally. Again, we should have had a penalty before they scored. Hepburn Murphy was brought down from behind. Linesman and referee let it play on. Sounds like Sarah Grapes, but as I say, they were the better side. They more or less went up in a few minutes later and scored their first goal. Really poor defending. Player, who was it who scored the first one? McGoldrick got put through, chipped the keeper as he come off his line fast. Well taken goal, so deserve that. And then again, they were on top pretty much for the rest of the half. We had a few half chances, but nothing special. They got 2 goals in 2 minutes. First one, a penalty, which is one of those where left wing back got done by the player, tried to get back. There was a bit of a tussle. I haven't seen it back in on replay or anything, but from where we are, it was one. It's sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. So I think most people said, yeah, it probably was a pen, and Langstaff put it away well. And then pretty much straight away after that, our defence went missing. We didn't cut out a cross, and Crowley was all on his own in the 6-yard box. Our nearest player was about 5 yards away. Absolutely, really, really bad defending. That made it 3-0. And, the game was over then. Second half, better performance. We pulled one back, 49 minutes, good crossing from the right. And the sub Shade got a good header and to bring it 3-1. And later on, we had an absolutely blinding chance. Our centre half in the 6-yard box, headed it down. They're taught head it down hard, bounced straight over the bar. Should have buried it. If it had scored that, obviously it's all ifs and buts, but it would have been made a game of it. And then, they pretty much played it out. And I don't know if you've seen it. Our keeper, what I was on about the keeper being really good, made an absolutely blinding double save in the second half. As it turned out, that if it had gone in, it wouldn't have been an exit. It was an offside. But have a look at it. It was absolutely fantastic
I've
save.
seen that. It's a double save, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, really. How he got up to get that second one away. It was brilliant. He was probably our best player on the day. So, yeah, fair play, Notts County. They deserve the win. Our first defeat. So we go on to Bradford on Saturday and hope we can give whoever's in charge not a very good welcome.
There you go. As you say, a first defeat, and so the only one of the pod actually. So 5 out of 6 for double game week isn't bad at all, is it? For in terms of the team for a win. So I'm staying out of it.
I was going to say not to mention your team.
We're not. They're not a lower league team, so they don't count here in the statistics.
Yeah, but you're not about fans. We actually had a good turnout for a Tuesday night. There was over 800 Swindon fans, which for a Tuesday night up there is pretty good turnout.
Yeah.
And I got back home at 2:00 in the morning, so it was a long day.
Yes, that's a long round trip for a middle of the week job as well.
Yeah,
when you're not celebrating a win.
Well, yeah, the worst of it was because I picked up one of the guys off from our podcast in Leicester, then we got the train into Nottingham, and getting the train back, we missed the 10:00 train by a few minutes, and the next train was 11:20.
Oh shit!
So that's why I was home so late. So then I drove back to Leicester and drove home from there. But yeah, all in all, it is a good day out, apart from the result.
There we go. A question in the chat as well. When is Swindon Colchester? When is Swindon playing Colchester? Do you know?
I think that has been arranged, but I'm not sure. Rearranged. I'm not sure when it is, to be honest.
Okay.
Still seems mad that a game had to get called off because of the rain in August.
Yeah. So we're not too bad, even though. First defeat. We'd have all taken that at the start of the season. Say, into October, and you've only lost one game. Yeah, happy with that.
Definitely.
Yeah, not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. And go on then, Claire. Stockport round 2. Another win.
I know. Win for the 5th game in a row. Form team in England. Would you believe it? The moth's coming back.
Wow.
Quick, get the spider. The spider will get it.
Flattened it on the wall. Anyway. So I don't have any luck with these animals. I'm moving out. So again, it wasn't the best game, if I'm being completely honest, but it didn't need to be. We didn't get out of second gear, I don't think, for the whole of the match. But like I say, we didn't need to. So we did what we needed to do. Tanto scored again. to keep his good run of form going. So pleased. On the 35th minute, he then also turned provider and slid the ball to Sarcevic, who scored our second goal of the night. Just after half-time, Sars hit the bar. Yeah, the bar. I always get the bar and the post mixed up, which is ridiculous.
Just say woodwork.
Yeah, hit the woodwork. I know which way it is, but it's still. I just have to think about it for a little minute. But he hit the bar just after the restart. It would have been a great goal. It was a cracking half volley. Then Marcel Lavinier, whatever it is.
Yeah, they signed him from us.
Yeah, I forgot that it'd been booked in the first half, but it like, considering you're in a booking, it was just such a stupid challenge to make. He didn't need to do it. It was like near the byline near the dugout. It was that far away. There was just no need for it. Stupid, like, moment of madness, I'd say. We did what we needed to do. Forest Green were awful. We just sort of, like I say, we just didn't really need to get out of second gear. I agree with what Darren said. Just a professional win. Just needed to do what we did. We've got Doncaster at home on Saturday, so hopefully we'll make it 6 wins in a row.
6 wins in a row. And where are your expectations now, Claire? I think Darren's saying he's not, as long as they don't win the league, just top 3 will do. Where's your expectations after the end of this? Well, while you're still in this run?
I don't really know. And if I'm being honest, the only reason that I look at the table now is because I know we cover it. Generally speaking, I don't care about the table until like Christmas, New Year time. I think it's really then that you start to get a true sense of what's probably going to happen. But overall, I'd be disappointed if we didn't finish in the top 3. We have to build on what we did last year. We have to. We've got the budget. And for me, Dave Challoner is the right man. I know a few weeks ago people were calling for him to be sacked, which I could understand in a way because we were in awful form. But I always said, and Nick and Ant will back me up on this, I always said I'm not worried, we'll come good.
Yeah.
And I think now we've found a way to win without our best players. We've got 9 injured at the moment, so some of those are integral players. So I think we can only get better. Top 3.
Top 3. Possibility. See how long. Let's see if we can keep this run going. Big one at the weekend, and we'll see where they sit. Obviously,
I'm not stupid to think we'll go unbeaten all season. I know we'll lose, but
it's nice while you're in it, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. And say good point actually, Cap Alid makes in the things. That's the other thing. Teams also amend their weaknesses in January. Very true. January does provide a bit of a reset. Does indeed.
Some of us lose our best players in January.
Well, you know what? At our game the other night, there was about 5 scouts watching Louis Barry, and obviously they're going to because he's probably one of the most informed players about. But also it is his first successful loan spell, so I think it'd be silly for him to go. And I don't think he would go if he didn't leave Villa. So I think it's only if he leaves Villa he will leave us.
Yeah, like a permanent or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We shall see where that one goes. Sutton United lost again. They are an absolute disaster at the minute. Sutton are rooted and a win for
Salford's starting to pick up points now, though.
They are, I think we'll see the 17th now, but they'd had a terrible run before that, so a few more, and they'll be up there because again, it's tight at this point of the season for sure. Tranmere beating Bradford, of course, that's the writing on the wall for Mark Hughes. Tranmere picking up a victory that they needed as well because they've been struggling too. So good win for Tranmere. And of course, Walsall 0, MK Dons 0. Get out of here. 0-0s. No, thank you very much. We're almost there. We've got quarter out of the 2-hour mark, and we're on the final league. So we're doing really well this double game week. We'll just go through the table very quickly, and it's very tight. Look at that. 20, 23, 20, 19, all the way down to Gills and 8. That's what's saved. The thing of it, Gillingham are not that far off at all, are they? No. Only a point off seconds. Mad. But there we go. And it's all very tight elsewhere. So, as you say, Claire, not a lot you can really tell from the table this time of season, unless you're way off at the bottom or way off at the top. I think everything's to play for.
I wouldn't even be surprised if the bottom two stay as they are.
Yeah, literally, I was about to say that. It's looking anonymous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Those two look like they're struggling. So we shall see. National League is here. Unfortunately, there's no Charlotte this week. I know she loves the National League, but we will do our best for you, Char, in terms of what we've got in the National League. But you will be pleased to know that AFC Fylde have lost again. I know she's not a big fan. Yeah. They have, two losses again for them. They are no wins in 3 for them, with a decent win for Woking expected. There, Aldershot 3-2 over Dagenham and Redbridge as well. Aldershot a mixed bag themselves. They've sort of picked up wins and losses across the road, haven't they? So they are sat bang on mid-table at the moment. Dagenham and Redbridge in a bit of an awful run. They seem to be sliding down very quickly. Very quickly indeed. Bromley picked up a win against Gateshead, who've been in tremendous form, so that's a strong one. Bromley are usually fairly strong at home, aren't they? So that's a strong one for them. But Gateshead picking up their first loss in a number of games there. I think they had 3 wins prior to that. Yeah, been absolutely on fire. So difficult one for them. And as we see, they did turn it round and they came back with a win in midweek, as they did. That's for sure. And here we go. Yeah, Mr. Luke. Yeah, move on. Wants to get past that one. Charlotte, we will get to Rochdale. Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming down there. We will get through this. Eastleigh with a victory. Eastleigh 3-2. Eastleigh are my local team, and they are in their traditional spot of just mucking around at the bottom of the playoffs. And then when they get to the end of the season, they just drop out of it slightly. That tends to be. But they've stabilised themselves a little bit. They've had I think Richard Hill's come down to manager from the director. He was their manager before. They've obviously got owners you know very well, Ant, in terms of the...
Yes, the rest of all them, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, they were in dire trouble before them as well. I don't think the former was any better from where they're sitting, but some good wins for them. I got one of Claire's Moths has come in here. Has flown in for a... He's a speed. He's made some miles, I'll tell you that.
Come back from the dead as well. Clever thing.
He has indeed. So 2 wins on the trot for Eastleigh, and Dorking getting a win at Hartlepool as well. Hartlepool have starting to struggle a little bit. Do we work as Hartlepool one of those teams expecting to be battling? Do we think Hartlepool are in a bit of trouble?
Yeah, too many injuries.
Seems that way, but I think there's a lot of fans asking for Askey to be sacked, which in my mind is pretty ludicrous because he is a great manager at that level.
They've got so many players out injured as well. I think there's 3 of them out for the season as well, like Mancini and that, who he started so well for them as well. And I like to say, they absolutely destroyed us in pre-season, beat us 5-2. And I thought they'd have had a really good start, but I think there's just far too many injuries for them.
Yeah, they've let in a lot of goals this season. Yeah, I think that's obviously their problem. 26, and then there's only teams be lower down at the bottom with 28, ignoring Fylde, but 27. So obviously defensively, they're not good.
No, yeah, not looking good. Particularly the last few weeks for Hartlepool for sure. Barnet with a win at Kidderminster. Kidderminster struggling with Barnet. Barnet a good side, and they've been doing very well so far this season. Very strong, sitting in second at the moment. Very good for them. But Kidderminster look like they're struggling on a bit of a losing streak. They do get a win in midweek. Again, double game week, so they did get one to bounce back, but they seem to be struggling. I think Kidderminster might go back through the trapdoor. Yeah,
definitely. I think they were lucky to get promoted, really. I don't see him staying in the National League.
it's looking like it might well be tough. And a team that picked up a very good result, actually. Maidenhead to get a draw at Chesterfield. No one's taking points off at Chesterfield, but Maidenhead will be very happy with that.
Yeah. And like we've all said on our previous times, if you finish above Chesterfield, then you've won the league. I think it's Chesterfield's to lose this season. Maybe while we're on Chesterfield, we can mention Kieran Dyer as well.
Absolutely,
liver transplant, isn't he?
It was diagnosed in 2019 with primary sclerosing what is it called? Cholangitis, which is an incurable liver disease, and he was told then at some point he'd need a transplant. He's not really made it known, but he was in hospital for 3 months. He said that during those 3 months, football became more important to him than ever, and he watched more football whilst he was in that hospital bed than he ever has done in his whole career. But he very luckily got a liver transplant and has just come out of hospital. So yeah, wish him the very best of luck, and hopefully, you know, when you have a transplant, the first few months is the most vital. So hopefully he goes on the right path and sort of gets back to work, doing what he loves. Of course, like, transplants are not plain sailing and they're not made to last forever. So he's got a life of anti-rejection medication to take to hopefully keep that working. But all the very best to him. Hope it all works out well.
Yeah. 100%, definitely. And so it just shows as well the importance of football to anybody really with an illness or something, what it can do for you, you know, as something when you've got something like that going on in your life. So yeah, we echo that and hope best of luck to him that everything works out as well as it can. Next up, Oxford City 1, Altrincham 2. Altrincham are picking up a few wins now. They've made a bit of a run together, so they've moved into the plus. That's 4 on the trot they've got now. So happy with that, Claire?
Yeah, it just Ethan Ross, the goalie, is such a not in a to look at kind of way. He's just such a beautiful human being, and I'm just happy for him. He's on loan from Stockport, but he's such a good lad. I'm glad for him that they're doing well.
Very good for them. Very good. And a win over Oxford City, who are free falling a little bit now.
Yeah, can't see them surviving. I think they probably did above themselves getting promoted last season, didn't they? It's probably a league too far for them.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case. A few people saying, yeah, best of luck to Kieran Dyer in the comments there as well. And yes, football is the best medicine. It is indeed. Hurts sometimes as well, but sometimes it is the best medicine, no doubt about it. And Charlotte, yes, it's time. Charlotte's she's given me her analysis, which basically says, do the lead away. Defence was a shambles again. Let's watch Dale do 2-2 with Southend, and yeah, after a few wins they're dropping points again and having some difficulty things. So
how good for Southend though? So pleased for Southend.
Yes.
Yeah. They've been saved, haven't they?
Over by someone who's gonna sort them out, and what a nice way to do it with a home game right on the day of the takeover. A Southend fan I know said it was literally just like a party the whole match.
Amazing,
class.
Well we done. We spoke about him so much. So yeah, really pleased they've got a new owner. Scunthorpe as well, yeah.
And yes, Scunthorpe too. Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
So we covered both of those and the struggles and the worries. So yeah, no wonder a party of relief, no doubt.
Let's hope that the outgoing owners of both them clubs will never work in football again, because it's not right.
Yeah, the thing is though, it's still pretty bad time for Scunthorpe because the old owner owns the ground still and is planning to get rid of it. Obviously, they put out a statement saying that they'd be playing at Gainsborough. Gainsborough said, we've not even discussed it. So that's apparently still on the cards and they are in talks, but it's not looking good for him still. So I just hope that they can move past all of their worries and get back on track. You never want to lose a football team, do you?
No.
No, 100% top. Mr. Luke says non-league football has been restored now. They're going to do, and Capallet does like Southend fans, and they will be buzzing for a few weeks to come. At least they can now look at the football now rather than everything else, hopefully, and enjoy their season a little bit more.
Yeah. Pressure's off, isn't it now?
It is indeed. This is it. Pressure's off. And so they've been winning games as well. While all this has been going on, they have been winning games. So, the Dutch has obviously got them down there. But, hopefully now this will propel them into a better season. Elsewhere on the Saturday, we had Wealdstone and Oldham with a 1-1 draw. So they had a draw in there. Oldham have been on a good run themselves. Have been unbeaten for a little while. So They were held at Wealdstone and York, and Solihull with a 2-2 draw as well. That was a good one for York, because Solihull have been pretty strong themselves as well, haven't they? I think they're up in third at the minute, so good result for those. Moving on to midweek. Home wins. See, this is it. If you've got your betting slips next double game week, it's the home wins on the Tuesday. That's what you go for. So we'll fly through. We've done a lot of these. Any in particular that grab you out of those results?
Eastleigh had a good result, didn't they? 5-2.
They did indeed.
Yeah. We better mention Gateshead for a certain Luke.
Yes, there we go. That's better, he says. On the green side.
I'm sorry to pull out Rochdale's result, Char, but Solihull. Once again, they're doing quite well. They always tend to do really well and just fail to get promoted every year. I think Rochdale have got a lot of injuries from what I've read.
Yeah, Charles jumped in the chat and said, frustrating game for us. Expected a loss. Injuries creeping up on us now. Sinclair had a knock too, so that didn't help. Need him, John and Rodney back ASAP.
That sounds like proper 3-year-old men go to the bar, isn't it?
Doesn't it? Sinclair John Rodney.
As soon as possible.
It's only Fools and Horses FC, isn't it?
All right, Rodney.
Or is it Dave? All right, Dave?
Yeah, all right, Dave.
That's funny.
Oh, there we go. So a classic, a classic. I have to say, Rochdale need to get them back hopefully soon. But
what also the last thing that stands out is Fylde lost again.
They did. Another loss for them and a win and a win about there. Yeah, they're in dire straits, aren't they? Really, really not looking good for Fylde. Mr. Luke as well. I think Gateshead are off to Rochdale on Tuesday night, so it better be worth a 2-hour, 18-minute trip. There you go. That's
very precise.
That's
you
very
better
precise.
Let us know next week if it actually took just 2 hours 18 minutes.
2 hours 8. Yeah, he's going to be under pressure. It's 2:15, thinking, I need to get parked in 3.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Luke, there is no way on a Tuesday night at 5 o'clock, whenever you're travelling down that will take 2 hours and 18 minutes, because the M62 at the best of times is an absolute hellhole.
There we go. So you'll have to come and let us know. We want to know exactly by the minute how long that journey took.
Yeah,
there and back. There we go. So let's bring up the final table of the double game week. And the Chesterfield, as expected, storming it through. But as we said, Barnet and Solihull still looking very strong. Some good points totals they put up there already. Of course, the National League have played a few more games than the EFL, so they are well and truly into the season already. And there's Chippy Chat in the chat. Make sure you go to the Chippy. I'm dreading it. Cannot wait to try the Chippy. So there we go.
I used to absolutely love Rochdale away when we were in League One. Absolutely adored both my visits there.
Do you know what? Considering I've been to 121 football grounds and Rochdale's up the road, I've never been to Rochdale.
Oh, it's class. I know, that's such a great time.
Shall you'll have to take me.
There you go. She'll have to host. She'll have to host a Rochdale pod special, and we'll all go to the Chippy.
Yeah.
Happy days. So very tight elsewhere as well. As I said, look at Eastleigh all the way down again to Dorking. There's not a lot of change there into 2 points where they are.
Look
South
at that
End.
bottom team.
And Fylde are still well and truly at the bottom over there. So there we go. So Charles pretty happy with 9th so far for Rochdale. I think they've adjusted quite well and early and would have taken 9th. So there we go. And Capallet's been to Rochdale and lost in the cup 1-0. There you go. Chippy party, 100%. It's in the bag. Chippy is on. And there we go. We've made it. We've made it all the way through the double game week. 96 games of football we've covered in just under 2 hours. That's pretty impressive going, I think.
Not bad, that.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. So, yeah, well, thank you for everybody in the chat that has joined us. Thank you for everybody as well for, my debut on the lower league covering. Hopefully, I've done Shah proud and we've kept the wheels on through the evening in terms of what we've been doing. So, thank you very much to everybody who's joined us for this. So, and of course, I couldn't do it without this wonderful team that we have here and we have here for you on a Thursday. And everybody should be following you if they're not already. So where can people find people? Nick, where can everybody find you and show you some love?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, Ocus_road. So I don't post an awful lot, but I do read everything that goes up. Or I'm on the Fools Rush In podcast on a Monday and a Friday, 9 o'clock. So if anybody wants to have a look at that, come along. So yeah, all good stuff.
Excellent, good stuff. Do give and show Nick your shares and your follows and everything for sure. Ant, where can everybody find you, sir?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter at Ant_Watson. Also host the How Are the Lasses podcast, which is up for a fan football content award. You can still vote for us up until the 8th of October. It's the pinned tweet on our Twitter page, if you follow that, and then we're under, what are we under again? Western Women's Football Creators. If you click on How We're the Lasses Pod, any vote is massively appreciated. Thank you very much for anyone who has voted so far. Yeah, that's me. And you can also find us obviously on Roker Report as well for the Sunderland men's team. So I've never mentioned that yet. But there we are.
There we go. Get voting and get supporting on that. That would be fantastic. And of course, Claire, where can everybody find you? Unless you're a moth or a spider, where can you find Claire?
It's that, mate. I feel like I'm under attack. You can find me on Twitter, Claire_Jeffs. I do post a lot of random crap, but yeah, like to chit chat with you if you want to follow me.
Magic. And I am, if for some reason you want to follow me, I am at the FN Ducks on Twitter and all the socials and stuff. And so, yeah, my usual team won't be mentioned here because they, I've got that pain to come on Monday, I'm sure. So you can catch me usually on the Monday podcast where we talk Premier League and some of the European leagues as well. With everybody else, with Josh and Lucas and Charlotte and Hannah and all the team over there. So fantastic. You can catch us over there. Thank you, as we said to everybody in the chat. Mr. Luke, great show, everybody, as he says there. Cap Alid in the chat. Great watch and listen coming in from Darren. Thank you. Charlotte wants Claire on tour in a raincoat. so there we go.
That was too funny.
And there we go. And where can we follow the pod? Of course, here we are, amended with the proper spelling as well. Meet the Absolute Football Podcast team. And where can you meet us? You can find us on Twitter or X at Absolute Ball Pod, at YouTube at Absolute Football Podcast, Twitch at Absolute Football Podcast as well, TikTok Absolute Football Pod, Instagram and Threads, Absolute Football Podcast _ and on Facebook, the Absolute Football Podcast. So we are live Mondays, 8 o'clock, bringing you Premier League and European leagues. And on Thursday, of course, the Absolute Low League, where hopefully Charlotte will be well enough and be back with everybody next week to join us in. And you can catch us all on there. We are, of course, on Spotify and all the audio platforms if you prefer your podcast in that format. And very soon, we hope to be bringing you a new WSL show, bringing you the Women's Super League. We're in the process of developing it, something we're excited about. We've got Kira Knox on board, who writes for the Toffee Blues and is already kind of prepping stuff with us in the background. And we hope that we'll have something to share with you in a few weeks. So do keep your eyes out. And as soon as we have a bit more information on that, we will drop that to you. But for now, all we have is to say, have a fantastic evening. Enjoy the football with all your teams at the weekend. And we will see you on the next one. Take care.